Ah, Sharon O'Neill is coming. All right. But we are going ahead and recording, so this will record the rest of the evening. So if you want to just go ahead and start, I'll let
Okay.
you in.
Okay. I just literally started looking at everything you guys sent me over updates of what your clubs have been doing since the last meeting. So I don't know if you just kind of want to go around and just talk about what you sent me, because I'm sure that most people didn't get to read it like I didn't. So I can see Michelle first, and I usually know a lot going on with Sunbury. Jim usually keeps me and they're doing some great things. So if you just kind of want to talk about what you guys have been doing and what you've been up to, and that leadership program that you guys started, which is pretty cool, I think, that to everybody to hear. So
yeah, we decided to do a leadership award for middle school and high school students, and really just kind of put it together since January and sent it out to the schools. And we have chosen an 8th grade student as our first leadership award winner. And from the nomination from her teacher, she sounds like an amazing young lady that we all wish we had in our clubs, I'm sure. So we're going to be giving that award out at our next meeting. We're getting ready for our Labor Day barbecue and flea market, which is our big fundraiser for the year. And it's really going to be our first year doing it. We were supposed to do it last year, and then the county we canceled everything because of COVID. So it's going to be a learning experience to run the flea market and the barbecue. And we did have a smaller barbecue last year, which went over well. And we're also getting ready to launch an equity and diversity program that's going to be online. It's going to be online every Wednesday evening during July. It's going to be an hour and a half. It's a program put together by a couple of college professors who specialize in diversity studies, and it's something Jim has taken through another Kiwanis group, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for our community, but we're also going to open it up to other Kiwanis clubs in the area. So anybody that wants to attend can do so at a reduced rate. So we're excited about that.
and you guys are not back in person yet, right? You guys are
We
still
are
Zoom.
we are not. We are still meeting twice a month via Zoom.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I always feel like Sunbury does some cool things, and I think that we can all learn from some of the things that they do. I think they do where they do membership on Facebook too, membership spotlights, and I think that's something that's pretty cool to put out there to share what other members and what they do and who they are to anybody who's wanting to join that's following that page. So.
And honestly, we owe almost all of that to Jim, because he's the one who has spearheaded everything.
Yeah, he seems like he's on top of it.
He is. He
I
keeps us going.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that 8th grade award winner going to be your spark for a key club in the high school?
I hope so. We've been trying to get a builders club started in the middle school for a couple of years, but COVID kind of derailed that. They weren't adding any in-person things. So we sponsored 2 kids I don't think it was last fall. Yeah, to
Key leader.
Thank you. The name eluded me. So yeah, between her and that group, I hope so. I hope it does go that direction.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ed, since you're talking, you want to go ahead and share what your club's up to?
Well, we're not up to an awful lot. We are moving forward. We're working on, of course, our builders clubs and our key clubs are very strong. They have just gone on their own. They have good faculty advisor leadership, and they're just outshining our club. I'll tell you that. They've got multiple projects, fundraisers, service projects, and we're really proud of them. They've been doing a great job. we've got a golf outing coming up on June 14th. We're struggling to get teams. It's, we're really on the edge whether it's going to happen or not, but
Mm.
that would be a fundraiser. We're our Little Brown Jug Junior Golf Classic that we present for the youth, the ages 7 to 17. That will happen on July 10th. So we're moving forward with that. We just found out that our president-elect for next year, who works for Edward D. Jones, was offered another job with Edward D. Jones in his hometown of Frankenmuth, Michigan. And he'll be gone by the end of June, on the end of April. So or at the end of May. So we're scrambling to find a president-elect for next year. But so it goes, I guess that, so that's one member who will probably drop by the end of the year, but hopefully we can replace that. We won't have a membership drop.
Ed, did you already twist his arm and tell him it's a requirement for his replacement to join your club?
Well, we've mentioned that, so we'll see how that works. We have had members. He's the second member from Edward D. Jones. So there's a pattern that we need to follow.
Okay. Deanna Mount Gillard, I actually was able to join their meeting a few weeks ago. So that was kind of nice because I didn't know much about their club. So that was kind of cool. So you want to share about what you have going on?
And thank you for joining us then, Stephanie. It was very nice. So thank you. Yeah, I think we just started resuming in-person meetings at the end of April. We actually already have a new member from that. So that's kind of exciting. Our big emphasis has been on, in terms of projects, our Dolly Parton Imagination Library project. And we now have almost 800 kids enrolled, even though we just graduated 375. So we're doing really well with that. And we signed up for Terry Lynn. Thank you, Dick Brulot. I took a picture of that fundraising brochure when you and I last sat at a table together. And we decided to proceed with that. We've got a golf outing also on August 13th. So I'm very interested in those other golf outings who are struggling to find teams, because we were worried about that and had postponed last year, obviously, until this year. So hopeful about that. And I think those are the big things.
Deanna, as far as Terry Lynn, when it's a holiday event coming up like Mother's Day or something, pin that to the top of your Facebook page. And start sharing it and giving them suggestions on, oh, this is perfect for a Mother's Day gift, because Judy can attest, we've had several orders just off the Facebook page.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I got the idea when we were sitting together at the last division meeting. I don't know if you remember, you had the brochure sitting on the table. So we decided to move forward. So any input anybody can give us, we welcome.
Yep. All right. And we don't have anybody from Cary, correct? Or Marion?
Not yet.
Okay. Delaware Evening, Judy? Is that right?
Yes. Hello.
I say Dick keeps me updated on you guys too, and you guys do some amazing things as well. So, and I know you just did the soapbox derby, and we actually had them talk to our club prior to that. So I know a little bit about it, but if I don't know if many of the others do or not. So that's really cool, neat idea if you want to share about that.
Sure. Well, most of this is, Dick has really been pushing us on this, but we were able to sponsor 3 students for the soapbox derby down in Columbus, and 2 of them were from our the STEAM team at our community center, who was a corporate member, and another one was a grandchild of one of our members. And I believe Dick, I think he won 3rd place in his division.
Right. The grandchild won 3rd place, and one of our STEAM students came in 6th.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen that.
That's
one.
awesome.
So I went down one. It was fun to watch them do that, and they were having a a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen, but Dick went down the hill too.
Yeah.
We should
That's
share
been
that
hap-
everywhere.
Yes.
It's been
It
happening.
did garner a lot of attention on Facebook and everything. Now, the one good thing is the video of me going down, I challenged Lanton Lee. And because they wanted to feature Kiwanis, because for the first time they got Kiwanis involved. And they said, well, we can put you in one of the original reproductions of the original soapbox cars, with a wooden soapbox and everything on it. And so I was thinking that, okay, he said, who do you want to race against? I said, let's do Lanton Lee, because if nothing else, we can get some publicity that way with all the other clubs. I've already written an article for Buckeye Bulletin. The good thing is Lanton was able to have his designated driver, and he chose Margaret. And we raced, and I managed to pull it off and beat Margaret. The good thing is they did not show on the video my struggle to try to get out of the car because there were no sides. It's not like the stock cars that have the sides that you can push off of. I mean, it was just the floor of the seat. And I had to have two people, yeah, Sharon's laughing, hoist me out. And thank God that wasn't videotaped.
So do we have the video, the race on videotape, Dick?
Yes, it's on our Facebook page and you can actually share it.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
And I have to give kudos to Dick because I was a development person for another organization, and one of our fundraisers was a big wheel race for grown-ups.
I love that.
It
Yeah.
was fun, but since it was a relay race, there's no way I could have done that because, like him, you know, how do you get back up off of? We started on the 4th. We went back to in-person meetings, and we had a good crowd. It was kind of a homecoming theme where we just kind of reintroduced and, you know, what I did on my pandemic break. So it was fun. We have a couple of meetings coming up that probably will be able to draw some new people in. You know, one of them will be a tour of the new courthouse or the renovated courthouse, and some other things. So looking forward to maybe attracting some new members.
Yes.
And fundraising, we don't really have anything on hand right now. We're trying to look at how to do some of our other projects. We sold our trailer, so we're trying to figure out how to do some of those without the trailer.
Yeah. Right. All right. And we don't have Marion or Carrie or Powell, correct? So on here. Marysville, we haven't really done anything since the last meeting, but we do have our, we're able to do this year our coin drop fundraiser in June. So we have that scheduled. So we just kind of stand out in the middle of the street and collect coin. So it's kind of interesting. We do that all day. And then we're looking to do another fundraiser with Culver's. Last time they let us be there for like 4 hours and we help serve and stuff. So I'm not sure what that'll look like this year with COVID, but we're looking to do that as well on that. But that's really all we got going on right now in Marysville. But let's see here. I still know that I need to get with Delaware Noon, Powell, Carrie, and Marion. I still need to be able to come visit your clubs. I probably need to revisit Delaware Evening because I couldn't even speak when I visited you guys. Not sure what was going on with that. So I'll have to come back and visit you guys as well. And then, so Ed, I'll have to get with you sometime because you're the only other one on here.
Okay, and you know, I didn't mention it earlier, but we're going back to hybrid this Thursday. So we will be meeting in person as well as providing a Zoom or a freeconferencecall.com virtual.
Okay.
And then we're going to continue to meet every other week in May, and then maybe go back to every week in June. So we have more opportunities for that visit.
Okay. Awesome. Looking forward to it. I just wanted to also let you know too that I see some of you guys were talking about having struggles of trying to get teams for golfs. I don't know if you guys know, but there's a link that you guys can fill out for the District of Ohio. And you can put all your fundraising on there as well, and it goes out on the Buckeye Bulletin. So that may be able to gather some more people for fundraising opportunities there. Also, if you share a Dick, he's usually really good about getting it on our Facebook. I don't know if you know if we have a Division 11 South Facebook page. He's really good about getting it on there and sharing it out to everybody. I know Marion had a fundraiser for raffle tickets to win like a quarter of a cow or something. And I even bought tickets for that. So just even our own members that could help you out on that. And then just want to let you, oh, sorry, Dick, were you going to say something?
I was going to say real quick, Ed, let us know how this hybrid works.
Yeah.
Because I haven't talked to anybody who's done a hybrid yet.
Yeah.
So see about that. Also,
Okay.
shoot me an email to remind me to repost your registration form for your
Okay.
golf outing.
Yeah.
So, but I did, Stephanie, ask Tammy from Cary. They did a pancake breakfast or pancake day. And
Oh,
I asked her because there were no details. I said, how did you tweak this? How did you make it different? So I haven't heard back. So when I hear from her, I will share that because I know we tentatively have something usually every November, and that's a big fundraiser. So we need to sort of figure out whether or not we're going to try to tweak something for pandemic times.
yeah, I was curious about that too. I did see that on their form, how they did that as well. And I know us, Marysville group, we're talking about doing hybrid as well with the Zoom and doing live in June. So I can also let you guys know how that works for us when we do that on that. I also, the Buckeye Bulletin, I suggest if you guys don't read that, to read those when those go out. I never used to read them until I became Lieutenant Governor, and there's so many great resources on there that you know, I've learned a lot from that, and I think it's good if everybody else reads those too. They give you reminders of dates and everything that are important coming up in the year too, and the governor just gives a little tips on things, and he gave some good tips about membership. If you didn't read it, he talked about how ways to get new members. So I think that if you read that, I won't read it all because we'll be here all night if I read it. So if you check that on there, he talks about like opening a house, you know, host an open house for your memberships and things like that. I also, it looks like everybody's got their elections pretty much situated. But if you don't, make sure you get that done by the end of the month and get that into the portal. They like to do it online, preferably than mailing it in. So if you could just make sure you get that done by the 30th, I think, right, Dick?
Yeah, June 1st is technically the deadline, yeah.
And one of the things in the bulletin, they were recognizing club secretaries for getting all their 100% club monthly reporting in. And Sunbury made it on there. So congratulations to you guys.
Again, it's Jim.
That's awesome. So I was glad to see that on there. And I wanted to share that with everybody on that.
Oh, can I add one thing about elections?
Yeah.
I know when I was Lieutenant Governor, some clubs, and it's been since, but some clubs don't bother doing their elections until they have a full slate of officers. If you have an open slot and you know you need to get this reported by June 1st, for instance, Delaware Evening is still missing a president-elect. We went ahead, had our election, and we posted it with that as a vacancy. So don't wait till you get all the slots filled. Do your election. Partially, you can you can vote on that next person that fills that slot 3 weeks, 2 months from now, whatever, and then add them. So, but do get it done.
Also, if you have the same members, they still want you to report that. So if you're
Right.
keeping the same officers, you still got to put that in the portal. So on that. And then the president is coming this week. I know that Dick sent some emails about that. I don't know if anybody's attending that, but if you know someone in your club is, can you please let me know? The district was asking me, and I wasn't for sure.
They are up to at least 75 as of Saturday.
Okay.
Because at one point they were just lingering around 45, but it's up to 75. They had planned for 100, so that's what they're shooting for.
What is that again, please?
This is Art Riley's Visit. It's in Newark on, what is it?
Friday or
Yeah.
Saturday?
Saturday. I believe it's Saturday, the 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great,
But I
thank
think
you.
you have to sign up to reserve for if you wanted to go. I don't know if there's a deadline to sign
I
up.
think Wednesday is the deadline. But like I say, they had about 75 by Saturday, so.
That's awesome. So, and then also just I want to a few dates at you. The Education Leadership Conference is in June. It has a virtual option, so I would take advantage of that. It has recorded videos, so if you literally can't attend that day and you sign up for that virtual, you can go back and use those recordings and listen to them. So I suggest signing up for that because I'm sure there's going to be some good leadership stuff to use for your clubs to take back to them and share that with your club members as well. And then in August, they are gonna, so far are supposed to be holding that live August 13th through the 15th, I believe. Yeah, the 12th for the 15th for the convention for the state. It's gonna be in Cleveland. And so far that's supposed to be live. Just some dates to put on your calendar on that.
When's the June date for the leadership conference?
It is June 24th through the 27th.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think you have until the 25th, if I'm correct, to register for that. On that. And I think it's only, to do it virtual, it's only $39 in cost, so not too bad on that. And that's all I have. We talked before a lot of people jumped on about the inflatable. So Ed does have that. So if your club needs that for fundraising, please reach out to him and he'll get that coordinated for you.
You should have my email. I think everybody should have that. And I can give you my cell phone or I don't know the best way to get it published.
And why don't you send me an email with how you want people to sign up?
Okay.
And I will forward it to the group.
Okay. So I'll put a little form or something, or probably just I just the information and they can do it on an email. There's no sense
Yeah.
of having a form.
No, there's no.
And I'll have my own form. I'm here to track it. And I guess I'll just have to ask, is it available a specific date? You know, I don't think we're sophisticated enough to have it online right now, but maybe we would need to at some point.
Yeah, I think you could use Google Doc if you really wanted to, because then anybody can fill in and do whatever you want down the road if you wanted to use that.
Stephanie, you said everybody. Do you know who you're talking to here? Google Doc.
I probably don't even know how to use it, so.
Is that where you put your boat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll get something to you, Dick.
All right, sounds good. And anybody else, if you have a fundraiser or something, even in light of the pandemic, send me the information because it might be something somebody from another club might be able to take advantage of.
Yep. 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 And then I'll send some information around. I wanted to get it out before this meeting, but today was a little bit crazy for me about memberships, some things, ideas I've seen from other clubs to share with you that might be useful to help with that as we start getting away from those restrictions with COVID-19 and getting back here the next few days to you on that. But that's all I have, unless anybody else has anything.
Deb, glad to see you here, Deb.
All sorts of people on there. Hi, Bill Pease.
Did you have something to share, Deb?
I did not. I just joined early.
Okay, and we did send out your information.
I saw
about
that.
the,
Thank you.
golf outing.
Thank you.
So remind me in about another month to make sure I run that again.
I will do that. Thanks.
Okay, we're up to 14. We have our guest speaker, Bill Pease here. Except there he is. He's moved. I couldn't find him. So why don't we, I don't know how many more will be coming. There's Manoj.
Oh, good.
And we can actually, I don't know, I've got almost, yeah, I got 6:30. Shall we go ahead and just go ahead and start?
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and bring up the PowerPoint. Let's see. Of course, everybody's remembering Jamie's theme, charting our course for a bright tomorrow. And we want to acknowledge that Kiwanis Club of Sunbury Big Walnut is our host tonight. So we're pleased to have them hosting us. This is their first time.
Thank you.
And we're going to be doing our call to order. And at this point, I'm going to stop sharing and ask Michelle if she can find the share screen button. Go ahead and share, please.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it's going to share, Jim. Or Dick.
There we go. No, that's not what I want.
Nope, I know. That's what happened when I hit share. So I think maybe I
Okay.
will not share.
All right.
If I can figure out how to get back to where I was.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'm viewing you now. Are you on your screen? Do you see yourself on your screen?
I do.
Okay.
Although I see something else in addition.
Yeah,
so-
I just opened up some of the other screens.
Okay, that sounds good. But are you ready to get started?
Yes, let's go ahead.
Okay. All right, we will go ahead and call this meeting to order then. I'd like to welcome everybody to the meeting of the 11 South Division, and also some added Sunbury Big Walnut business that's going to be thrown in there. And why don't we open with an invocation? So if you could join me. Dear God, we thank you for the beautiful sunshine and the signs of spring that we see all around us. We ask that you be with us tonight and that you bless our endeavors, both individually and as members of an organization that seeks to improve our communities and the lives of our neighbors. We give you our thanks and praise. Amen. And I believe, Dick, we're going on to the pledge next.
Yes.
And that will
Let
be
me
led,
get you back.
okay?
All right, and I am going to Well, it won't let me do it. But I'm going to ask that just sort of say the pledge to yourself, but Jean is going to be leading us in the pledge, and so I'll turn it over to Jean while you have the flag on the screen.
Okay, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Jean. And at this point, we have an introduction of guests, and this is going back to Stephanie. And Stephanie, I will let you take over.
Hey, I'd like to thank the Sunbury Club for hosting our district meeting tonight, and thank everybody for taking time out and joining us. It's nice to see you all. Eventually, hopefully, we'll be in person one day soon. I'd like to, if all of our past lieutenant governors would raise their hands if you are here. Perfect. And then I'd like to introduce, we have several district chair members here. So I'd like to introduce them. We have Jim and Sharon as district historians. Glad you're here. And then we have Bill Peace, which is our district membership co-chair. So welcome him. And then we have Dick Roulette as our Action Club administrator. So welcome him too. And then, let's see, I think that's all, everyone, right?
We've got a couple of past governors.
Oh, yes. And then if our past governors would raise their hands. Welcome and thank you for coming. Okay, and then I'm going to hand this back to Sunbury.
Okay, and we have a little bit of club business to take care of. We need to do our club election of officers yet. And I would just like to thank all of our club members who have stepped up and agreed to take on a leadership role with us for this next year. And I'm going to turn it over to our club secretary, Jim Janisic, who will then run the election of officers.
Great, thanks, Dick. And if you could just leave that, next slide up, that's perfect. So no, go ahead, you can go to the next one. This is our slate of officers for 2021-22. Kiwanis here. Thank you to Michelle for staying on as a second year as club president. Jean is staying on as treasurer, myself as secretary, and then we have a newer member, Brandy Cosgrove, who's going to be our newest director for a 3-year term. So for those of us that are on the call, I think there are 2, 3, 4, 5 of us from Sunbury. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to make the motion to cast a unanimous ballot. Actually, before I do that, are there any nominations from the floor for any of the positions from any member of Sunbury Big Walnut Kiwanis? Okay, hearing none. I will move to cast a unanimous ballot for the slate of officers as presented. And to ask for a second from another club member. Jennifer Fry, who's here with me, said that she will second. All members from Sunbury in favor?
Aye.
By saying aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Excellent. Congratulations and thank you. Back to you, Michelle. Or Dick.
Okay, I think we're back to Dick now.
Okay, at this point, we're ready to start our business meeting. And I'm going to call on Manoj to do the roll call for us. And Manoj needs to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second here. All right, I guess I'm lost on finding my document here. All right, we'll start with Carrie.
Okay, Carrie is not present.
Okay. And then Delaware County.
Ed?
1-1. Is that what we're doing now?
Right.
1-1.
Jack will be
Delaware
late, so I will add him later.
Yeah, I had hoped he'd be on, but yeah, so that would be 2-2.
Delaware Evening.
6-2, I believe.
And then Marion Noon. I think it's just me.
Uh-huh.
So that'd be 1. Actually, 1-1. Sorry. And then Marysville.
I believe 2-1.
Mount Gilead.
2-2.
Powell.
Nobody's here because Michelle had to go to her daughter's game.
Okay. And then Sunbury, Big Walnut.
I believe we are 5-3.
We are 6, actually.
Oh, are we? Okay. I missed somebody.
630.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Manoj, you want to share anything about how you're coming as far as getting ready for next year?
Yeah, so obviously I'm be sitting down with Stephanie next week to try to figure out trying to get ready for next year. I do have a little project that I do want to work on. I don't know if anybody has heard of Ability Vending. Basically, what Ability Vending does is they work with kids with disabilities to try to help and provide them a job, right? And what the idea is to go ahead and talk to a business to purchase a vending machine. So what we did at Marion, actually, what we did, and they put a machine at Marion Technical College. And the way you do it is you find a local family of a local family in Marion County that has a child that is looking for work who's with disabilities. And they're just refilling the vending machines and then they're counting money. So you're teaching them financial skills, but you're also giving them a job to make to have some type of an income coming in. The goal is I will bring the president of the company. I actually know her pretty well. Her name is Brooke Olson. She won the Marion Forge business competition for the nonprofit organization. And the idea would be for each club to sponsor a vending machine. They come to about $1,500, or $1,500 to $2,000, and we would have the club would have their sticker on it. And you would pick a location. Obviously, you would have to talk to the owner of the location and see if they're okay with it. And especially where high traffic is. Marion Technical College, they have classes at night, and there are students there that are always going to the vending machine. And there's healthy snacks as well. It's not like all junk food, but that will be the idea to try to get a vending machine in every Kiwanis location or anywhere in Delaware, if there's one or two, but my goal would be to one per club. The goal would be one per club. You sponsored vending machine. It's just a one-time sponsor. So you're not paying for any ongoing cost, but you are providing a child with disabilities, and you can work with the local Marion board, local DD to find out a list of individuals that you can go ahead and students you can talk to. Brooke has a really good breakdown of that. So one of the meetings, I would want to bring her on and give a good presentation and give us a breakdown of what they really do, because there's going to be a lot of questions, right? I don't have the answers to all those questions. She's been doing this for about 2 years now, and they have about 7 vending machines in the Powell area, and even if somebody took on the responsibility of sponsoring on one of them, and then they just put one in Marion and looking to expand in the Ohio area. So if we can start it in 11 South, the idea would be to how many other divisions can we go ahead and do this. give a child with disability a position, a job, and a financial means. So that would be something that I would want to really work on in the next year, at least get a club to sponsor a vending machine.
That sounds like a project that we might even be able to work with all of our other divisions because of the action clubs.
Yeah.
So keep me
True.
informed on that. And
I
do
will.
you have your date for your lieutenant governor training?
I have it on the calendar. And then there's in 2 weeks from now, there is the training that I've already scheduled from Craig Smith. So I'm talking to him, and we've got things planned up on the different dates. Now, I haven't set up a date, or we haven't set up a location for October when we do the meeting in Marion. So we will have a location. I will get back with you with Gareth on what location we're going to be doing. Most likely it's going to be at the Women's Club home where we meet right now. We're meeting twice a month. And it's just social distancing. We're still practicing all the rules. It's a way to gather. I mean, we only have like 10 to 12 members that show up, but we do have a speaker, and it's been successful. So that will be the place that we would like to host a meeting. So we just gotta have to talk to them and see if they are available that date, and we can cater food. So I will get with Gareth. He never got back to me, so I'm gonna put the ball back in his court, and hopefully we can get something going.
Okay, we're looking forward to, I'm sure Stephanie is looking forward to October 1st when she steps down. But we're looking forward. Just remember, we're all here to help. So
No, I
lots of
appreciate it. And then
past
that's the
governors.
date. That's the date I'm going to get Brooke to also do a presentation about the ability vending.
Okay.
I think that would be, we can definitely plan it beforehand and figure out what they're doing and how to get action clubs involved. But that will be the time I probably spare 15 to 20 minutes and give her some time to at least give a presentation what they do and how we can partner up and eventually take it down to all the other clubs and the other divisions in Ohio. This will be a really big deal and big difference you can make.
Sounds good. Thank you, Manoj. At this point, we're moving on to the next part. Secretary's report. We mailed out a secretary's report shortly after the meeting in January. And I remailed it just yesterday. It was from our January 27th Division Council meeting. It was a Zoom meeting. I don't know if everybody's had an opportunity either the first time or the second time to read it. But if you have looked at it, are there any questions, any changes, any suggestions to be made? Please share them now. If you've got something to say, double check and make sure you're unmuted. Okay. Anybody have changes, additions? Hearing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to accept Secretary's report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay,
Ed.
Ed, and I need a second.
Second,
Who was that? Stephanie?
Deb.
Okay. All those in favor of accepting the Secretary's report, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Those opposed, say nay. Secretary's report has been accepted. In light of the fact that Shelley is at one of her daughter's last softball games, she is not with us tonight, but she has prepared the financial report, and I shipped that out, but I have it on the screen. Our beginning balance from January was $6,048.18. We've had some interest. Dues have come in from 4 clubs, If you have not already sent your dues into Shelley, please do that. I will probably ship out a second copy of the dues invoice in case they have gotten lost. But we took in $781.86. Our expenses, as voted at the January meeting, we decided to make a $400 donation to the Ohio District Kiwanis Foundation. And that was to be split up 4 ways for Governor Jamie's SLP program. We also voted to purchase a Centennial E Kiwanis Club inflatable at the cost of $425. And that has been received. Ed has it. He'll be getting me information and I will share it with you, because if you're doing a golf outing or something, certainly something you want to have on the premises to highlight Kiwanis. So our total expenses were $825. Brings our balance down to $6,005.04. The service account, which remember, we can move money back and forth from administrative into the service account. So even though it's $271.42, and it remains that, we haven't done any division fundraisers to add to it. So that's why it's only $271.42. Dues have gone directly into the administrative account, and we just parcel it out as we go. At this point, I'll ask if there are any questions or changes. Anybody has anything, just please ask.
I'm leaving. Oh, did you get on?
Yeah,
What did you do?
I don't,
What'd you-
That's Bob.
Hearing none, we do not need to have a motion to accept this because it will just be filed away. All right, at this point, I'm going to call on Stephanie to help me do our election of officers. Stephanie, it's yours.
As we all know, leadership roles in our own clubs are extremely important for the success of each of the clubs and to continue to meet the needs of the children in our communities. But the lieutenant governor positions and the division officer roles are important as well to connect each of the clubs to the district states and continue to give guidance and leadership and assistance to continue to have success in each of your clubs. So there are great roles to take on. And as someone as myself have learned a lot more about Kiwanis than I ever knew before, and have been taught more than probably that I've been teaching you or guiding you guys. So they're very, very important roles to take on.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I will say that one of the best jobs I think that you can get if you're going to be an officer is a lieutenant governor's position. You learn an awful lot.
Yes.
And I certainly did the 3 times I've been lieutenant governor.
Yep.
Again, I want to concur with Stephanie that you give a special gift by stepping up and serving as an officer. It's a gift to your Kiwanis club. It's a gift to the Kiwanians in your club. And we have a special slate of officers who stepped forward this year. We have the following officers running for their positions. Manoj Sharma from Marion is going to hopefully be elected to this evening as our lieutenant governor for 2021-22. Jim Janasek has agreed to run for lieutenant governor-elect from Sunbury Big Walnut. Shelley has agreed to stay on as treasurer from Powell, and I have agreed to stay on as secretary from the Delaware Evening Club. Do I hear any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, I will make a motion that we cast a unanimous ballot for this slate of officers to be elected to be our leadership team for 2021-22. Can I get a second on that, please?
Second,
Who was that?
that's Ralph.
Okay, I wasn't quite sure. All right, all those in favor of electing our slate of officers, please say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Those opposed, nay. Hearing no nays. Thank you for offering to serve, and thank you for being our officers for next year. Stephanie, you want to introduce our speaker?
Yes. So as we all know, May is membership month, and I thought it would be great to bring in someone that can guide us a little bit more on membership, as we all have struggled through the COVID-19 pandemic to get new members and maintain the members we have. So I have tonight speaking about membership is Bill Pease, which is our district chair and our membership for the state. Bill, all yours.
Thank you, Stephanie. And it's a pleasure to be here, and it's good to see a lot of familiar faces or names, because I see them in the directory a lot. It's really fun, and thank you for letting me speak. When I was asked to talk about membership, I thought about two screen shares that I talked to Dick about. And one is from the Wooster Club. It was put together by Dr. Kip Crane, past governor and now international trustee, and Linda Brickeroff from the Wooster Club. And that's the biggest club in Ohio. So what better to put this together? And the other one is from the ACE Tools Achieving Club Excellence, which is right on the website, Kiwanis website. Go to ACE, then tools, when you do Kiwanis.org and then /that. So those are really good sources. We're going to talk about those. Some of this you already know or you've been exposed to, but it's good review. And I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. I'm not going to read every slide word for word. You can read a lot faster than I can talk. And we'll get some comments along the way, doing the fact we've come through a pandemic or coming through a pandemic, and things are a little bit different. So Dick, we can put that screen share up, I think. And
you should be able to find it on your screen.
let's see.
Bottom or top?
I don't see it.
I know it shows up when I move my cursor down to the bottom. It pops up the toolbar. Yours may be at the top.
Don't see it yet.
Unfortunately, I can't do the screen share for you.
What are you going to share?
Let me see if I can do it. Have you got me as a co-host?
I don't need to make you as a co-host.
Okay. Let me
What are
see.
you going to share, Bill?
Let me see if I can get it right here.
I made you a co-host in the case that helps, but.
What are you trying to share, Bill?
Right here, the Kiwanis membership recruitment presentation.
Oh, okay.
And there you go, right there.
Did you
And
find the share screen?
there he goes, but it's not.
There you go.
Okay, we all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, this is where it starts, membership recruitment, and it's a little bit in the large size, but there's kind of an agenda here, culture of growth, and we'll go through that. One of the things that it'd be good to find out, do you all talk about membership at every meeting, some form of membership? Because it's very, very important that happens. You got a new member coming in possibly, or some kind of a membership drive coming up. I don't know, it's so important to mention it 3 times each meeting, but at least talk about it in every meeting. Then you're doing your prospecting. So you're making a list, you're managing the list, following up. Here are some places to look for people. And the way I talk about it is talk to people who are used to working with people. That's part of their business. There's other things like Army recruiters. You've probably heard that. If there are any in your area, there's things like Salvation Army, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Boys and Girls Clubs, all those type of things, nonprofits, all those type of things are very good sources to go to. You can also go back, look at a list of members lost over the past 5 years. Sometimes people drop out of a club because something's going on. They get through that period of their lives and maybe they want to get back again. It doesn't hurt to go back and ask them again if they want to get back involved. Maybe get them in a project and get them excited about it again. Watch for news makers in your area, newspapers, other people serve on boards, social media and website. I want to talk a minute about social media. In the last 2 or 3 years, every new club that we have opened, we have gotten people from Facebook. There's a guy by the name of Steve Hatt, H-A-D-T at International, that will be glad to put a Facebook page together and help you promote it. Or you may have somebody you have connections with. But believe me, it really works. The East Fork region in Batavia, East Cincinnati, got 5 people from Facebook to start up. And one of them ended up being the first president. So there's really a lot of power there. And also have a website put together. Somebody moves into your area, they put in Kiwanis Club of such and such or whatever, and then your website comes up. And I see membership inquiries coming through very often about different people, but occasionally somebody's connected by website. Signature projects, make a list of that. Community leaders. Local children art, business after hour events. All these things you can make a list of and get involved with them. Now here, I wish we could get the screen over a little bit more, Dick, but 20 names, pick 12 names, pick a dozen, invite them to a meeting or a service project.
We can
You're
see the
doing
whole
cold
screen.
calling.
We can see the whole thing.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. I can't, but that's all right. Be our guest cards, print a handout. I would highly suggest if you do not have a business card, get some business cards made up with your name and Kiwanis on there, any kind of logo with Kiwanis logo on it. It is really professional when you give someone a business card and ask for their business card, and you can keep track of them. Another way to cold call, I'll say, well, we'll go through there in a minute. I'm not such a fan of going to Main Street Mall and going door to door. I've done that, but it can work if you get enough people doing it. But again, have that business card together. And if you have a little trifold brochure of what your club does, have one. If you don't have some made up, or a list of projects that you do, what you impact in the community. So you can give them that and your business card and invite them to a meeting or whatever you want to do to a project. A phrase that I've seen people use, and I've used it, if you're talking to somebody, maybe you don't even know them very well. Maybe it is a cold call. Ask them if they belong to a service organization. And they might say, I don't have time. What is it? You know, that type of thing. You'll have an answer for them. If they don't have time, give us what time you can, type of thing. Contact visitors who didn't join. Recruiting in your presentation format. Make sure you're dressed with Kiwanis apparel on of some sort. Maybe it's your pen or whatever. Maybe it's a hat. We'll go into some of this. There you go. I'll let you go through this and read it. A great thing when you come into a room, and maybe it's in a person's office, if you notice something on the wall, comment on it. And they say their daughter received a scholarship there. It may be a little league team they sponsor. A couple of years ago, I went into a real estate office, and their whole entryway in was little league teams they had sponsored over the last, I don't know how many years. We started talking on that, and it just took off. So be a good listener. Ask him what he does in their business, ask him about his business, but don't do all the talking. And here's what to say. Share 3 things your club does that touches lives in a positive way. And you all know the different experiences that you have. Tell them how your life has changed. You want to get them to a meeting, that's the goal, or a service project. And don't ask them to join there on the spot. That's going to come later. Okay, here's, this is an interesting one here. No often means not now or maybe never. No, it's not anything against you, but you're that much closer to a yes. I can tell a funny story about myself. I was asked 4 times to join Kiwanis before I joined. And this was at a church, and one of the guys I ushered with at church, I finally said yes after the 4th time. And I wasted about 10 years not joining when I did. And the way I looked at it, he was so intent of asking me, it must be something good I should get involved in. And now I'm trying to make up for it ever since for those 10 years. I don't have the time. Well, a lot of people might say that, but don't expect people to be at every meeting. It's nice. Give us what time you can give us and take part where you can. People have a tendency to pick areas they want to get involved in. This is one about working with kids. Maybe we can partner with them on a project, give them some help, some support. Okay, this is a good one too. What is a good time for you? We have other clubs in the area, could develop a satellite club. Satellite clubs usually meet once per month. They can meet at a time that you're not normally meeting. It could be 5, 6, 7 people. They can get involved in your projects. They can create their own projects. This could be a young professionals club. It could be a lot of different titles. You don't need a slate of officers, but you need somebody in charge. Satellite clubs are becoming more and more popular, I think. One of the things that we see with satellite clubs is they really want to get involved in projects right away. So that's where you can lead them and help them get involved. Follow up, thank them, of course. Have the president call them, send them a thank you card. If you don't have any of those type of tools, it's good to get them so you can send something to them. Non-commitments, media service project invitation. Don't forget about them. You don't want to beat them to death. Keep going back and back and back and back on a rapid basis, but keep in contact with them, invite them to meetings, that type of thing. Invite them to a second meeting. Every guest will not join when they're first asked, that's for sure. Keep track of them, keep a record of where they are. Remind them when you're gonna, the day before you have their visit. Also, when you bring them to a club meeting, make sure the club president knows ahead of time so you can talk about them a little bit and introduce them to everybody. And so people can get to know them. and have some members make sure members know somebody's coming so they can greet them. This is just more follow-ups. Okay, now you're at the follow-up and now they're at the second meeting. This is a good time to ask them to join. And sit down with them, make sure you have somebody that would be a good sponsor that can talk to them, present them with an application, have all that ready. And ask them to refer you to some people for some names of other people that might be interested. Give them a handbook. If you got a handbook or a handout of standing committees, ask them to pick one. This is a little thing that's kind of a closing. I'm convinced you're going to go make a wonderful addition to our club. I'll let you read the rest. Another thing we've used in recruiting is you're the type of person we want to have in this club. That's another catchphrase that is very good to use. All right, this is a real important point with me. Before you originally officially induct them into the club, sit down with them over coffee and donuts or whatever, and go through some orientation with them. Expectations of them as a club member, fundraisers, what you do, a little bit more history, some of the things like happy dollars, and give them a little bit more background of the club, because that will make the night they come in officially into the club more special to them. Now, here's more about the Satellite Club, different day and time. Now, the New Northmont Club in Inglewood and Clayton has been open only about 6 months. They have two different kind of meetings. They have a Tuesday night meeting at 7 o'clock. Before that is a board meeting. But then they have a Friday noon meeting for people that can only come at noon, and they call it the lunch bunch. And it's worked out very well. And they keep minutes on both those meetings so everybody knows what's going on. It's a good thing to have. Okay, and here's Linda's name and Kip's Crane, because they're the really ones that put this together. I've updated it a little bit as we've gone along. It's a very, very good presentation that they do. Okay, Dick, we need to get on the other screen share, and I can go over to the ACE tools from here.
Bill, is that presentation you just went through, can we get that from Linda Brinkerhoff, or where do we get a hold of that?
No, I'm sorry, just contact me.
Okay.
And I'll send it, and I'll leave Dick all my information, and we can send it out.
Actually,
Okay.
Bill's already sent it to me because I had it as a backup. So I can send it on to you, Ed.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share. Well, let's see. Now I got to get on the ACE tools. All right, I'll try and do it this way. Oh.
You'll have to find the ACE tools, open it up on your screen, and then hit screen share.
Yeah, I know.
I did send that off to everybody.
Well,
If you want, Bill, I can put it on my screen.
let's see if it comes up here.
Here it comes.
There we go. Okay. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, reason why I want to put this on, I think this is one of the best things that Kiwanis International has come up with. As I was saying before, go to kiwanis.org/ACE tools. It is achieving club excellence is what it stands for. But the concerns are on the left side and tools are on the right. I'll open up some of these as I go. Some of them actually repeat. You'll see the tools referred to 2 or 3 times. So this first one, your club is unsure of its purpose in the community. You can come over here and you click on creating the purpose. And I won't go through all this because there's several things here. But basically, if you look at these little bullet points, it helps you brand the club's identity. And this is for all club members to get involved in as an audience. Help the club set goals and priorities, guide members and leaders towards decisions about service and fundraising. And then what it does, it opens up to comments as worksheets. You can print these out as worksheets and people can fill these out and then you can compare notes at the end. And it does pride, expectations of members, what members expect of the club. And then it goes on through all the way down here. And it gives you a background. I'm showing these so you can now I can't get this screen share out of the way, Dick.
I can't control your screen, so you're gonna have to, you should be able to click off on that X.
Oh, there it is. I couldn't get rid of the other.
I don't know how to get you back.
Escape.
Yeah, I saw it on there a second.
Okay.
There's Bill back.
I have it on my screen if you want me to do that.
Why don't you go ahead and do it? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on here. Thank you. Well, at any rate, that kind of creates the purpose, develop community partnerships. If you look at the next one, members of your club seem disinterested or dissatisfied, measuring member satisfaction. I'm afraid to click on these now, but it is something that you should probably do every year or two just to find out how the people in your club feel about the club, if there's something they're missing, you know, that type of thing. I'm going to try this and just see what it does. No, it doesn't. You're going to have to do it.
Jim, yeah, Dick will have to do it.
At any rate, and it's a survey, and as you can see down here, strongly disagree. There's a point system. At the end, it shows if you're with 75 to 80, you're doing fine, or 90. It gives you a review of it, and tells you things to work at. I've done it several times with my home club, Kettering Centerville. And it's amazing what comes up. But one of the things is they didn't think at the last one we did that we were as well known in the community as we should have been. So, okay, Dick, you can go back to the main card. Analyzing your impact. Dick, you want to click on that? This is a good way of evaluating what your service is. You've got the project on the left, the cost of it, the impact, and you just break it down. It's very simple. And is it worthwhile? Should we be changing and going to a different project? Are we affecting the community at all?
I might add, Bill, that they at Kiwanis International have updated these, because I remember using them many years ago when I was a president, and they're more user-friendly. They used to inquire with so many questions that I think most members got tired of filling them out. And now they've pinpointed it. So this is a much better tool. And a lot of people don't realize they're available on the KI site.
Yes. Okay, go ahead, go switch back. Okay, celebrating success. This is a very good one right here. There's one thing I want to emphasize here, and someone told me a long time ago, there's 3 R's in Kiwanis: recruitment, recognition, and retention. And here you're recognizing people. You do it a lot of different ways. You can praise them verbally, give them a note, small gift. You can see all the ways down there you can recognize them. And you can recognize people that you partner with. That's another thing to do. So it's just simple things like that. And I don't think in general we do enough recognition of people and say thank you very often. So it's something just to keep in mind. Okay. All right, your club is losing members. You see, membership satisfaction comes back. But Dick, if you would, click on open house. And this is an interesting one. I've seen several open houses in the last couple of years. I've never seen one that hasn't worked where they picked up a couple members. It takes a couple months to set it up. If you say, well, let's have an open house next month, you may not be as successful unless you go through. You don't necessarily have to go through every one of these steps, but you have to have time to prepare, the project lead, attendance, the whole thing, a program. Get your speakers, a big name speaker, a mayor or a personality, TV personality. Have some of your SLPs have what they do, pictures of what they do, have them there showing these, and they could talk to people. Don't charge people for anything. Have heavy hors d'oeuvres, and people sign up. And at each place where they sit down, have a join the club brochure and something about your club. And this is another good way of giving out those business cards to people afterwards. It can be done virtually too. You just have to have emails to set it up virtually with a Zoom. Okay. All right, your club must become more visible in the community. Developing community partnerships. Dick, if you would click on that. This is interesting. That you're going out in the community and you're trying to find club projects and populations you want to approach to ask about partnering with the club. Your club bringing up grades, terrific kids, young children, priority one, and other SLP programs. About 3 weeks ago, I talked to the Rotary in Miamisburg. We're looking at opening a club in that area, Miamisburg and West Carrollton, Southwest Dayton, and very nice people. And they actually invited me to talk. And we talked about possibly partnering with some projects that they were involved in. We've also talked about people in the Miamisburg schools down there that work with disadvantaged kids. So there's a lot of different ways you can partner with people. So each community is going to be different. Okay, Dick. And let's see. Yeah, you're down there, right? No, go down farther. Right there. Okay, that's the last one. Your club has ideas but needs direction or goals. Planning for club excellence. You want to click on that? This is, you've heard about SMART goals. This is a good thing right here. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-bound. So you say you want to grow your membership by 10%, have a deadline for it, have a time frame for it, all those type of things. It gives you some example of service hours here. This works out very well. And it takes a while to do these type of things, but one of the things you may consider doing is in August or September, have a transition meeting of your officers, if you're changing anybody, and or committee chairs, and have them at a meeting and start going through and setting up your goals for the coming year. Some of you might already be doing that. Okay, Dick. And where we repeating a little bit, your art club had no needs, direction, or goals. Click on club scorecard there. And there's 4 things there. Track these totals, online monthly reports, membership, service, visibility, and finance. And then other information down below. People going to the CLE, leadership training, strategic planning, financial review, election reporting, all the timely things that we do in the course of a year. Okay, Dick. And we go back to celebrating success. We talked about that. Your club wants to add more members. There's your hosting an open house again. So you see where some of these things are repeating, but this is a great tool to use. At the bottom is something too, report support from a club coach. We're putting together another group of coaches that are trained and certified by International. We've got about 15. We're checking with people on the older list if they want to have some training again. But the current training now is you're a certified coach. And a club needs to ask for it, but we can provide a coach for them. And that's the end of that, Dick. And I think that's the end of mine. If anybody has any questions of me, I'll be glad to answer them.
Bill, Diana Keplinger shipped me a couple of texts, and I know you talked about doing the business cards.
Right.
And he said you can get inexpensive business cards from one of the office supply stores.
Mhm.
You can also get them very inexpensively from a couple of companies online as well. If
Right.
anybody has some questions, you know, Jim Janasek is probably the one. He puts the slickest things together to hand out. I still love all of his stuff that he's put together for
He
Stumper.
probably does.
I have a lot. Hey, I just made a flag for a club in Minnesota this afternoon that they needed. So happy to help out any club in Ohio or anywhere else.
Jim is, a lot of people may not know this, Jim, but Jim is a strengthening chair for the Northeast region that we're in now. And that's Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Capital, Bermuda, New England, I think West Virginia, right?
That's right. Yep. And it's fun to be able to interact with all the other districts and work with them on their challenges and opportunities and growth plans. And then we get on calls with Bill and his team and share information and ideas too. So it's really good. We started a new club coaching program out of our subcommittee last year. And the trainings have been occurring for the past few months. So if any of the clubs in 11 South would like to have a club coach appointed, I know that they're going to be doing another training in Ohio soon. But there are some people that are already appointed or are already have gone through the training program as a club coach. And those can be temporary assignments. I mean, somebody that comes in and works with you to help identify needs and opportunities for strengthening your club, and then they're done and they move on to the next club to help out. So that can all be done virtually as well, by the way. So thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Dick, if you could, I can send out my contact information, but if anybody wants either of those presentations I rushed through tonight, we can send them out to you. Dick's got them both. But thank you all very much. Any other questions?
All right, I guess none. So thank you, Bill.
You?
And we will go back to this. At this point, I'm going to turn this over back to Stephanie because I'm sure that she has some comments that she'd like to share and help bring our meeting to a close tonight. So Stephanie?
Yes. Thank you, Bill, for coming tonight and speaking to us about membership. I hope a lot of you got some good information out of that. And I also want to congratulate all the new district leaders for next year. And thank you for stepping up to the plate to do that. And I just want to give you a couple reminders that in June is the Education Leadership Conference, and it is virtual and live. So if you can't make it out to Utah, sign up for the virtual and learn all kinds of stuff to take back to your clubs. And then in August, you have the State District Conference that is going to be live. So make sure you can attend that, and that'll be in Cleveland. And that is all I have for this evening.
Okay, the only other thing I'm going to add is that right now it's looking like the Action Club Leadership Conference Day is probably going to go virtual as opposed to in person because so many of our locations for Action Club are not meeting yet in person. And because of that, we cannot locate a place to have a meeting. And many of the groups, because they're not meeting inside their buildings, they're still doing virtual, have indicated that their management probably would not let them attend. So I'm going to be contacting James Minter and starting to work on moving everything to a virtual platform. And that would be July 24th. So at this point, I'm just going to go back and thank Stephanie for her comments tonight. And at this point, we bring it back all the way to Michelle. She's going to be sharing announcements and a closing reflection and adjourn us for the evening.
I better unmute myself there. Yeah, I have a few announcements to make. They're kind of for our club, but also for anybody else who's interested in participating. At our next club meeting, we're going to be awarding our first annual Leadership for a Lifetime Award. And we have chosen an 8th grade student from Big Walnut Middle School to receive this first award. And that meeting it'll be virtual 2 weeks from tonight. So anybody that would like to attend virtually with us to meet that young lady, you are more than welcome. At the same meeting, we're also going to be talking about task assignments for our Labor Day flea market and barbecue, which is, I'm sure, going to be upon us very quickly here. We're excited to host the Labor Day flea market and barbecue this year. We were supposed to last year, but We all know what happened to everything last year, but this is our primary fundraiser for the year. So we're hoping that anything any other clubs would like to do to help come out and enjoy the flea market and the barbecue and help support us, that would be great. We also want to announce that we're going to be hosting an online equity excellence program aimed at just improving all of our skills in diversity and inclusion and appreciation of differences. And that's going to be held every Wednesday evening for an hour and a half during the month of July. It is going to be an online program. The registration information and more details are on our Facebook page. And we are going to offer a $20 discount to any members of other Kiwanis clubs who would like to enroll for that. So check that out. And if you have questions, just let Jim or me know, and we'll be happy to fill you in on more of what that's going to involve.
Michelle, is
yeah.
there a flyer for that I can send out? I know Jim sent me an email. I don't remember if there was.
Yeah, it would have been attached to that email, Dick.
Okay, I'll dig it back up.
Great, thank you.
Mhm. And if that time frame in July doesn't work, we're hoping that if it is a popular program, we would like to be able to offer it again later in the fall. So sometimes summer works for people and sometimes it does not. But we'd like to have as many of you join us as we can. So in closing, I would just like to read you an excerpt from a book that I have found and really enjoyed. It is called The Book of Joy. It is co-authored, and it's really the summary of several weeks of ongoing discussion between Archbishop Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama, talking for a week at a time, several times, just about the topic of joy. And just the paragraph that I want to read for you is part of the journalist who was interviewing and recording all of these conversations asked the Dalai Lama what it felt like to wake up with joy. And he explained his experience every morning. I think if you are an intensely religious believer, as soon as you wake up, you thank God for another day and you try to do God's will. For a non-theist like myself, but who is a Buddhist, as soon as I wake up, I remember Buddhist teaching, the importance of kindness and compassion, wishing something good for others, or at least to reduce their suffering. Then I remember that everything is interrelated, the teaching of interdependence. So then I set my intention for the day, that this day should be meaningful. And meaningful means, if possible, serve and help others. If not possible, then at least not to do harm to others. That's a meaningful day. And in closing, I would just like to wish all of you as many meaningful days as possible in your future. And with that, if there's no other business, we will adjourn the meeting.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dick,
Bill.
Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Jean, Manoj.
Thank you, everyone. See ya.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.